Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Assalamu alaikum class. I welcome you to English grade 8 video lessons. I'm your instructor Zia Hamid. I hope that you are doing well and you are enjoying your learning. So my dear learners, for grade 8 we are on our unit number 3 and it's a poem that you have already, I hope that you have read it. It's called Don't Quit. This is our lecture number 5A with the competency of oral communication, and in that we are specifically talking about turn taking in communication. Now let's read our students' learning outcome to see how it resonates with it and how we can achieve it successfully. So our students' learning outcome is demonstrate attentive listening skills towards others and be sensitive to the rules of turn taking and discourse. So now, this is about attentive listening, because as you know that communication is a two-way process. We speak and we listen. So in order to listen, you have to be a very attentive listener and you have to have skills of an attentive listener. So in that, you also need to take care of your turn taking so that you can speak on your turn and listen to other when it's their turn. So this is all about attentive listening, and we need to be sensitive about these rules of turn taking, and also in our uh, towards the speech and also in our discourse. And we will also learn about discourse in one of the slides. So now this was our SLO, and now here is a vertical linkage of this one with the previous grade. So it's almost the same that you have covered in the previous grade, and we will learn more things about this today. Now, for a very quick brainstorming session, in today's brainstorming activity, we have a very interesting and a very thought-provoking question, that while we are talking to each other, why should we wait for another person to end his or her speech? Why should we wait? What do you think about this? You can share your opinions and also write them down if you like and share it with the class. Now, after this very quick brainstorming session, I hope that you are familiar with the concept of communication and also turn taking. Now, let's talk about turn taking in communication. Let's first see what is communication, how we can define it. So, communication is the process of exchanging information, ideas, and feelings between individuals or groups through speaking, writing, or other mediums. So, communication is when we communicate with other people, and also we exchange our information and ideas and also feelings. It can be done between two people, two individuals, or between groups. And now, this is done through speaking, it can be done through writing and other mediums also. This is all about communication. Now we know that it's a process of exchanging. And with exchanging, we know that it's a two-way process. Both the listener and the speaker are involved, and they are giving each other turns and sharing ideas together and exchanging them. Now, let's talk about a term we discussed in the SLO, which is discourse. So, discourse, just like communication, it's the written or spoken communication or debate, often involving a structured and formal exchange of ideas. So, any communication, any exchange of ideas, information, feelings, it's a discourse, whether it's in written form or in the spoken form. And for example, a debate is going on. So the whole communication, the exchange of ideas, feelings, and opinions, they are called discourse. So let's talk about the importance of listening in communication, which is our main topic. and our SLO, which is about attentive listening. So let's see how it holds importance in communication. Listening in communication, actively receiving and accurately interpreting messages during an interaction is called listening. So we actively receive. The keyword here is actively. You have to be attentive, active, and present at that moment. And interpreting messages during an interaction, it can be with one person or with a group, and this is what we call listening. It is the backbone of any effective communication. So listening is very important. It is different from hearing. When we hear, we just are hearing noises and sounds like we usually do. But with listening, you have to be attentive, you have to receive and actually think about the message, decode it, and then receive the information or anything attentively. So you have to know the difference between hearing and listening, and we want to be good and attentive listeners. And this is the importance of listening in communication. It is the backbone of any communication. Now, let's talk about attentive listening skills, because since listening itself is a skill that we need to achieve. So, the ability to focus fully, understand, respond thoughtfully, and remember what is being communicated by the speaker. This is what we call the ability of, or the skill of, attentive listening. We have to be fully focused and interested, and also we need to understand and respond with our turn. When our turn will come, we will also respond to it and remember what is being told, what is being shared. So these two or three things are very important if you want to be a good attentive listener. Now let's talk about a term that we discussed, which is turn taking. Yes, it's about taking turns. So the practice of alternating turns between speakers in a conversation, ensuring everyone has the opportunity to speak. So to give opportunity to everybody and to keep the flow of the communication, you need to practice turn taking. And turn taking let every speaker, every listener to speak and share their side and their ideas as well. So this is very important. Now let's talk about the importance of turn taking. Turn taking is crucial. It is important because it ensures fairness, prevents interruptions, enhances understanding, promotes collaboration, and builds respect in communication. So, imagine, my dear learners, if you're talking to somebody, you're sharing, and the other person is cross talking, over talking, and not letting you finish your sentence, how would you feel? Yes, you will feel terrible because you're not being given an opportunity to speak properly. So, this is why turn taking is important. You have to be fair when you're having a communication. Let the other person opportunity to speak and respond to your speech. And prevent interruption. What does it mean? We don't like interruptions when we are sharing or exchanging our ideas, missions, or information, or exchanging our ideas and feelings. So, and also we want to be understood by the other person. So this is why turn taking is very important. Now here is a simulation video that you can play later on for a better understanding. This is about communication. Let's talk about your classroom activity from page 28. You have to work in pairs and talk about your interests. One partner asks the other about the hobbies and interests of the other. The other partner has to answer it by explaining which things interest him or her the most and why. Each student should get a chance to talk about their interests. Look at the examples given below. Here is a conversation that's in front of you. So while doing this, you will be very careful and sensitive about turn. You will speak on your turn and let the other person finish his or her sentence. Now, for your homework, we have a very interesting activity. Choose a family member, friend, or classmate to interview. Prepare a list of 5 open-ended questions related to a topic of interest, for example, their favorite book or a recent trip or their hobbies. So, and you will be communicating and be very sensitive about turn taking, and also follow all protocols and SOPs, very good and healthy communication, and you will be a very attentive and good listener. Now here at the end, we have some resources that's being introduced to you for your help. They can be accessed easily from the description of the video. My dear learners, thank you for listening. I hope that now you're very much clear about communication and why do we do it, what's in a communication, how do you follow the protocols and the steps of turn taking, and also we also learned about a term called discourse. And now I will see you in the next video lesson. Allah Hafiz.